I want to start with Halloween Kills. So we got a new trailer at CinemaCon, and we've got the synopsis of that trailer. It's not very hard to find. I mean, it's on comicbook.com. It's on Blade Disgusting. It's out there. Like it's not like, oh, we have the leaked synopsis of the trailer. It's nothing like that. So if you do not want to hear what happens in this Halloween Kills trailer, now may be a good time to skip ahead. I mean, it's nothing earth shattering, but I know that there's some people who are like allergic to any information about this movie whatsoever. So if you want to know nothing about Halloween Kills and nothing about the second trailer, I would go away for a little bit, but come back. So this is comicbook.com. Let me get rid of my controls. So no, I'm sorry. This is Total Film. I saw this on Total Film. I actually had a different I had a different synopsis of the trailer, and then I mean, it was the same trailer, it was the same information, but this is a little bit more detailed. News Halloween Kills footage debuts at CinemaCon and shows Laurie trying to remove Michael's mask. Interesting. While not all of the footage seems to be new, it still sets up a pretty terrifying ride. According to Screen Rant, the trailer begins with a pumpkin and children playing, which I think every Halloween Kills trailer, at least, has started with a pumpkin. So children playing when a woman asks them, "Hey, what are you guys doing out here? Are you alone?" One of the kids answers, "There's a creepy man in a white mask and he's trying to play hide and seek with us." The woman
Oh
sees
fuck.
Michael. Yeah. I've heard, I don't know exactly what happens. I believe this is Kyle Richards playing Lindsay Wallace. I don't know if it's her kids or if she just sees kids playing, but I've heard that this playground scene and like what happens at the park in this movie is like it's painful to watch. Like it's terrible. I mean, it's a
Why would a
brilliant scene, but that, I mean, even that description sounds awful. Like it sounds
I feel like if a
creepy
kid,
as hell.
I don't know, if I was a kid and I considered something creepy, I wouldn't want to be around it. But these kids just sound like idiots.
Well, it goes back to our conversation of what would Miguel do in a horror movie.
If I
Uh,
thought something was creepy, I wouldn't want to be around it.
if you were
I
if you were
wouldn't
sitting on
let alone play hide and seek.
if
I
you were
would
sitting on a swing on Halloween night and you looked
I
up
wouldn't be in a park on Halloween night
in the dark.
in the dark. Not at
Even
all.
if you were with a friend, even if you were with me.
I could give a shit less. Hey Miguel, do you want to go to the park on Halloween? I said, you know what, man, I'm good. Why don't we just go home and actually watch Halloween? I'm cool with that. Why would we want to go to a fucking park? We're 23. We're grown ass men. Why would we want to go to the park? I would question your morality if you want to go to the park at night on Halloween dressed up as whatever our costume's gonna be.
I'm talking
I
about when
would
we were
question.
kids, though.
Oh, as kids?
If you're thinking about this as a kid, not right now. When do we go to the park at night and swing?
That's what I mean.
We
I
don't do
would question
that.
your morality right there. I'd be like, why is my man wanting to go to the park at night? That's a little sus.
A little sus.
Plus, hold up, parks close at fucking 8 o'clock at night.
Not in Haddonfield, Illinois. They don't.
Haddonfield, Illinois is literally the most idiotic fucking town I've ever met. Where I want to go to that town hall and listen to the conversations of them deciding the curfew for a playground. Because every single playground I've been in, I have broken into play. No, okay, pause. I have been to playgrounds when they're nearing closing, and the security guards are absolute assholes because they said, "Hey, you can't go home, but you can't stay here." Like they're assholes to you. When the park is closing, it's closing. You gotta get the fuck out of Dodge. I don't know what happens because a security cop can't really do much.
You know too much about this. Let's just say that. You said,
Well,
hold up, pause.
I am legally advised not to talk about it. But moving
Miguel's
forward,
lawyer is on the other line.
yeah,
He's
my,
on this Zoom call.
my lawyer is like that Matthew McConaughey guy, just like you should listen.
Miguel's got a little bug in his ear that's going shh.
But moving forward, that trailer alone, so many questions.
It's just the opening. It's just the opening of the trailer.
So
it's
many
the kids
concerns
seeing
for
him.
Haddonfield, and like, where's the mayor? What kind of mayor would allow their kids to chill at the park at like fucking, because remember, this gotta be like around 10 o'clock at night.
Well,
And I don't care if it's Halloween. That doesn't
But you
change
gotta
the
think
curfew.
though, it's a small town. Halloween's a big deal. I mean, look at the 2018 movie. Everybody was out doing fireworks, trick or treating, playing pranks on each other, doing all kinds of Halloween stuff. I mean, like that.
Also, it's what they this is like the second occurrence of Michael Myers. Literally, it's the kids, like, they know the legend of Michael Myers. So me being a mayor, I would think, hey, you know what? On Halloween, let's make the curfew a little bit earlier, just because we don't want to risk people dying.
That's
I don't
fair.
care. I don't care if
But
Michael
it's also
Myers is in a fucking asylum. If we think he's in the asylum, because at the time they know that, you know, he's he's not there.
right.
But I would still want people to be home early, because if my town was rocked hard by Michael Myers' giant fucking slasher cock, I would want my curfew to be like earlier than like 10 o'clock at night. I wouldn't want that happening at all. I wouldn't want kids out there past 8 o'clock. I wouldn't even want them out there before the sunset.
To be
That's
fair,
what I'm saying. So if I see kids out there at night in a playground and they say, hey, I got a creepy old man playing hide and seek with me. Again, sus, red alert, cops, anyone.
it's
This is in
2018.
Haddonfield, Illinois,
You have a cell phone.
Yeah, you have a cell phone. And also, I wonder how old these kids are. You know what? These kids nowadays, they have phones when they're like fucking 6 years old. They probably got the iPhone, like, you know, 12
in that
mini,
first,
because they're small. So they should know.
in that first sizzle reel we ever got, there was a scene like that. And I think they're like early teens, like 12, 15, somewhere in there type deal. But to be fair, you mentioned like the legend thing. Like, they, again, it hasn't really gotten out yet that he has escaped the institution and that he's back. So like, yes, there's the legend of what he did 40 years ago, but also, that isn't it the same thing as like ghosts, like people going into like a ghost tour? Like, the legend intrigues you. So it's like, well, why wouldn't you, if you're a kid, why wouldn't you go out on Halloween in a creepy park in the dark? Park in the dark. It intrigues
These kids
you.
are 7 years old. These kids have to be like, they're okay. If you're saying they're kids, they have to be within like the 7 to 10 years of age. So if I was a parent, which again, I would be a colored parent, I would not allow my kids. As soon as the street lights turn on, I'm whooping your ass if you're not in the house. Yeah. If my kids are not in the house by the time the street lights come on, I'm whooping their ass as soon as they walk into that door, because you know better. Don't be fucking out there when it's nighttime, because that's where crazy people come out. It's as simple as that. And I'm sure Michael Myers wasn't the only fucking serial killer in that town. Must be, or like in that country, in that universe.
Right.
So like, they should know better. That's all I'm saying. Haddonfield, Illinois, I would give you a 2.5 stars on Yelp as the whole city in general, because apparently you can review towns. I don't know if you knew that. You can review towns and you can give them stars, like 1 out of 5. I would give you a 2.5 just in that basic notion alone. You're letting your kids be out there at 10 o'clock at night in a playground playing hide and seek with a creepy man in a mask. I give you a 2.5.
Miguel taking the Haddonfield like living survey. He's like, schools 5 out of 5, atmosphere 5 out of 5, food 4 out of 5, safety 0 out of 5.
0. So what is the average there? I don't know. Probably a 2.5. I don't know. I'm not good at math. But
so anyways,
yeah.
Kids see Michael. obviously, I believe this is Lindsay. And she realizes, like, oh crap, like she realizes it's him. Um, the woman sees Michael, who jumps on the roof of a van and attacks its passengers. Someone else tries to shoot him, but her gun is empty. What the hell? I get it, and I know this is probably going to be like the callback scene where, and because in the original, to be fair, in the original, when Loomis and Marion Chambers pull up to Smith's Grove and all the patients are out and Michael escaped, he does jump up on the van and he smashes the window and he pulls her hair. And there is going to be a callback scene where he's going to be on top of the van. But I envision 60-year-old Michael Myers
I was thinking the same
like
thing.
leaping up onto the van, like woo, like crawling up onto the van, and it just makes me laugh. Like it's just it's a funny thought. So I assume we won't
Which, by
actually
the way,
see him.
a van is literally like, I don't know, how tall is a van? Gotta be like about
I
8 feet.
assume we, and I think it's an SUV. I don't know if it's really a van. I think
Still,
it's
I
more
don't
of
care. I don't give a fuck if it's a like. I don't give a fuck if it's like a Geo Metro. No one can clear a car like that unless they play for the NBA. It's as simple as that. And if we got a chubby 6-year-old man,
this is a
not chubby,
60-year
but
old who's been in prison for the last 40 years.
exactly. What has he been doing? He hasn't. My man hasn't been doing lunges. He hasn't been doing like that. He hasn't been doing that bullshit jump. Where people like jump on the flat. They jump on a box to work on their like jump height or whatever. My man's not doing that in prison. He's literally chained to a rock. So he doesn't he couldn't have worked on the clearance of that. So I call bullshit already.
Mm-hmm.
My man can't clear a SUV. He probably couldn't clear a fucking Corolla,
Well,
let
apparently
alone.
he's gonna.
I guess so, man. I guess so.
We've already gotten a little snippet of in the trailer of his hand from above, same kind of thing where he smashes the window and he's got Marion by the hair and he's like pulling her head like out the window. So it's gonna
Who the
happen.
fuck did this man think he is? Bucky Barnes? Calm down, Winter Soldier. You be all right.
So then the
Quit doing the
trailer
most.
the trailer then cuts to the house fire from the end of 2018's Halloween, and the police question the
You want to
Strodes.
be baller?
What?
You know what would
What?
be baller? If
What?
Lori, like trying to rip the mask, rips the mask, but in the process of ripping the mask, rips his right sleeve off, and whenever she rips the sleeve off, it's a metal arm.
He is the Terminator.
He is
He's
Soldier.
actually a Terminator. This is
No,
going to be the biggest crossover event in history.
He is the Winter Soldier. Which, by the way, I mean, there you go. What's your name, Matthew? Yeah, with your comments about these crossovers. There you go. That's my
there we go.
take. That's my take on the crossover. Yes, Terminator will be connected with Halloween.
Awesome. I love it.
There you go.
I dig it. I really dig it.
Yep.
So one of the officers says Michael is alive, and a voiceover from Lori says, 40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers. The trailer shows survivors from other Halloween films with, which other Halloween films? The original in 18?
I thought it was Anthony Mackie.
That's the only two we have, with Andy Michael Hall's Tommy among them. So I guess this is going to be kind of like the mob assembling and like the main heroes of this one assembling. Then
I want Anthony Michael to grab that bat. In the new stills, and he grabs it, or like he just looks at everyone. He says, "I just want to hear him say Avengers."
Wouldn't that have to be Lori though?
Assemble. Well, no, because he has the bat.
That's fair.
And
it's like Mjolnir. He just puts his hand out, and it like
yeah. He gets the bat. He gets he reaches his hand and goes zoom, and like for marketing, it's a Louisville Slugger bat, and he grips it and he goes like Avengers.
Michael's got that infinity knife.
The infinity, yeah. Michael has the infinity knife.
Love it.
I love that, guys.
So then come even more intense scenes. Andy Matichak's Allison tries to take on Michael but loses, and J.D. Greer's Karen shouts, "You want to kill someone? Take me." Lori is then seen with a bloodied knife in the hospital and says, "I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes." The trailer ends with Lori trying to unmask Michael. Okay.
If you think about it, it's the same
Okay.
way. If you think
All
about it,
right.
it's the same battle in Infinity War where everyone's trying to remove the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos. Everyone wants to remove the mask from Michael Myers. We're gonna have that same scene play out.
Well, first thing, the first the Karen Allison thing. I, I again, I think
She sounds like such a Karen.
I don't know. I don't know. Haven't read the script. Don't again. I'm fine with surface level things. I don't want to know who dies. I don't want to know how they die. I don't want to. I don't want to know how it ends. I don't know anything like that. I think my prediction, and it has been since before the leak script or any of that, was that Karen would be the one to die. It doesn't make sense for Lori to die. It doesn't make sense for Allison to die. Karen, it makes sense that Karen would die. Because then Lori loses her daughter and Allison loses her other parent 2 hours after she already lost her first parent. So it's like that kind of gives Allison the edge to be able to finish the deal. Um,
Do you
but
think Allison's gonna be the one to take out Michael?
no, I think she'll help. I think she might gravely injure him. I think if it honestly, I'm gonna be kind of pissed if it's not Lori. I feel like Lori, and we've talked about this before.
She's gonna do something to like to like injure Michael. You know, like how in Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, where like Wonder Woman has Doomsday wrapped up, and then all of a sudden green smoke pops and it's Batman from like fucking 50 kilometers away, just like this.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that's something she'll do. She'll probably throw a rock, incapacitate Michael while Lori makes the finishing move. I could see
Yeah.
that.
I think him and Lori should die killing each other. I mean, I've always thought that. I think that would be really. I think that'd be really poetic. But the line about Lori wanting
I
to
want
take
the
the
scene.
mask off,
I
and
want the whole scene where it's like Lori and Michael just like they tackle each other and they're rolling down the hill like the 1962 Godzilla versus King Kong.
You serious?
Like the where it was the puppets.
Could
They
you
roll down the
imagine?
hill and then they fall into the water, and then you have the suspense of like who gets up first. Who
Could you
gets up the
imagine
water first?
Jamie Lee Curtis and James Jude Courtney just locked arm in arm, tumbling down a hill? Could you? I mean that.
Yeah, that would be something.
Um,
Is there reports that Jamie Lee Curtis was injured in the show because in the movie, because that could hint to them rolling down the hill? I don't know.
No, but I know some of the cast did get injured doing this. I think Kyle Richards actually broke her nose while they were filming. Um, so I mean, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild sauce. But dude, the line about Lori wanting to take off his mask and watch the light leave his eyes, that's dope. Like that's a dope line.
That's some real smack talk right there.
It
That's
is.
like whenever like two fighters are like in press conference and they're like saying smack to one another, and they're like saying, "Oh,
You know,
just wait till Friday the 25th.
right?
I'm gonna watch the life come out of your eyes."
You know what's
And
funny?
Michael is just sitting there like this, just like this, and Lori just sitting there like, "Yeah, and just you wait. I'm gonna kick your ass come this Halloween. You're gonna get both of them." And then Michael just sitting there like this.
He's just going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, we go back to what would Miguel do in a horror movie. And everybody is so obsessed with wanting to take the mask off. Lori tries to rip the mask off and then kill him. You'd be like, just shoot him. It doesn't matter if the mask is on or not. Just kill him.
Yeah. Then like take a note. Take a note from the most influential series to this date, Scooby-Doo. They take down the villain and they have him tied up. The cops are there, and then they say, "All right, Now it's time to see who's behind the mask. And then they rip it off. They do that after the fact they've taken down the enemy. So why don't we just do that?
No.
But no, apparently Scooby-Doo just doesn't make it to Haddonfield, Illinois, I guess. So
No,
they don't know the process. They don't know the
she
steps.
she finally ripped the mask off, and you know how they usually say their name at the end. She rips the
Yeah,
mask off and goes,
they say Tucker from the deli.
"No." She rips it off. She goes, "Rob Zombie." It would actually be Sharon Moon Zombie because she has to be in every single movie ever.
There, yeah, probably.
At least if Rob Zombie has anything to do with it.
Okay, if I want to if I want to be serious, connected with Halloween, just rip the mask and be like, Dr. Loomis from Halloween 2, Rob Zombie. That one. What's his name? I forgot what his name is.
Malcolm McDowell?
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
What if it was Malcolm McDowell under that mask?
If I want your opinion, I'll slap it out of you.
I was waiting for that. Can you imagine that conversation at the end? Yeah, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a dog comes out of nowhere and just barks in there. There you go. There's your Scooby.
Oh,
yep.
So funny.
I feel like this would definitely be a great episode for Scooby-Doo. I feel like this is a job for Scooby-Doo. I want. I'm gonna when we watch this movie, I'm gonna tell you who's like the Velma, the Daphne, the Freddy, the Shaggy, and the Scooby in this movie. I'm gonna tell you which ones they are because
David Gordon Green was actually like watching reruns of Scooby-Doo, and he was like, "I don't know what we're gonna do for the sequel."
And then their kids are like watching like Scooby-Doo, but too loud. And they're like, "Kids, turn it down!" And they're like, "Oh wait, this is brilliant. Write that down. Write that down."
It's awesome. So there was a rumor circulating earlier this week. It's really the day of the Halloween Kills panel, that the movie was going to get pushed earlier to October 1st. But I think it's safe to say that that's not happening. If they didn't announce it at CinemaCon, then the time's passed. Like it's too late. There is Blumfest, but Blumfest is on October 1st, so it wouldn't make sense to be like, "Hey, Halloween Kills is coming out today. Buy your tickets now. You have
literally.
You have 40 minutes. Buy your tickets." Like, that wouldn't make any sense. So I think it is going to stick to October 15th, and we're going to talk about that box office weekend in just a little bit with Venom: Let There Be Carnage, because October is already going to be crazy, but the weekend of October 15th is going to be bonkers for movie theaters and for the box office, and not necessarily in earnings. It's just I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be really interesting to see how much
the movies
money
the lineup for movies that are coming out. Yeah, they're going to be insane. I don't remember what they are. You probably have the list in front of you, but
for that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I'd have to look it up. But we'll talk about the box office in a few minutes. And now in terms of this trailer, I think it itself will probably be released at Blumfest. We'll get the final trailer, and we'll start getting some TV spots for Kills. The Kills panel will probably be last, since it's Blumhouse's like biggest IP. But like, my biggest concern, honestly, isn't when we're gonna get the trailer. It's not moving the date. Like, that's all like whatever. Although I do think, money wise, and I think for success rate, I think they probably should have moved it to October 1st, and I think it was probably on the table, but for whatever reason they decided to leave it. My biggest concern is that spoilers are about to be almost unavoidable, because in a couple weeks it's about to debut at the Venice International Film Festival, where there's going to be the premiere of the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is going to get her Lifetime Achievement Award, which is pretty dope. And I believe that there will be
Achievement Award.
Yeah, they're going to give Jamie Lee, ahead of the premiere of Kills, they're going to give Jamie Lee Curtis a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is pretty cool.
It's for that Activia commercial.
That was what did it. It wasn't her. It wasn't her longtime film career. It was the activity, the Activia commercials. That's what it was. Activia. That and Freaky Friday.
Oh my God, with Lindsay Lohan.
I love Freaky Friday. I don't know. I thought that was a fun remake. That was a good movie. But I believe that there will be something in the vicinity of 4, 5, 6 public, showings of Halloween Kills plus the premiere itself, and it worries me, man. I feel like you're gonna get on Twitter and it's gonna be like, here's every death in Halloween Kills, all like 36 of them.
Yeah, you might
Like
as well.
it's just gonna be crazy.
You
So
might as well just like delete your app for like
I
a week
know,
and a half, which is pretty much what
I
I
know,
did during Infinity War and Endgame.
and
I
it
just like
sucks because
deleted my
like
app.
we're in a weird place because like people who have podcasts, people who do the YouTube thing, it's hard because it's like you want to avoid spoilers, but we also talk about this a lot, and we also it was the same thing with Endgame, which of course we didn't have the show when Endgame came out, but I mean, you remember how hard it was, especially after Endgame came out, because we didn't did we see was it
No, we
Infinity
saw it. We
War?
saw it. We saw Endgame. 'Cause I remember that day specifically. We saw Endgame like 4 days after it came out.
You're
Because
right.
I
I
remember, I
remember
remember,
I
I
had
remember
something the night it came out, and I couldn't go on opening night.
exactly. So
And
that's
I was
why.
pissed because I had like just gotten home. It was late. Like I got home late, and Julia was like, "Please don't be mad at me. We're gonna go see Endgame." And I was like, "Whatever. Hoes ain't loyal." And then she says that to me all the time, so it's okay.
Oh my god.
We
Oh my god.
so
These hoes ain't loyal.
so we
Oh my
walk in.
goodness.
I walk in my house and I'm changing it stuff. I'm getting ready to go to sleep or whatever. And my brother is grabbing his keys and he's leaving. And I was like, "Where are you going?" He was like, "We're going to see Endgame." I was like, "I hate all of you." I was like, "Why are you all like leaving me, ditching me?" And then we finally went. We saw Infinity War on opening night,
We
didn't
did.
we?
We
Because I
did,
remember
yes.
we got to the Cinemark and the line was like it was out in the parking lot
It
to get in the
was.
door. And I
It was
remember our
pretty
buddy
rough.
Anthony went in, or you or somebody went up and you were like, is it even going to be possible to see this movie tonight? And she was like, "If you come back in about 2 hours and get here early, yeah." So we
Oh
left.
yeah.
We
I
left for
remember.
like
Yeah.
2 hours and went back to your house, and then we drove back and we got there like an hour and a half. Like it was like ridiculously early, and we saw a showing at like 11 o'clock. I mean, we were like the movie wasn't over until like after 1 a.m. Like it was crazy. But that was a good time. I remember
Yeah, it was a good time.
there was a little kid in the showing of Infinity War dressed as Spider-Man. I will never forget this. He was crying at the end. Like after Thanos won and everybody died, he was dressed as Spider-Man and he was crying. And I was just like, I mean, when Infinity War ended, we just sat there. Like usually, you let the credits roll, you watch the post-credit scene, you get up, you grab your popcorn, your garbage, and you leave. And the entire theater was just like
I feel like
you
I
thinking
nudged
about
you.
life.
I nudged you and I was like, I wonder how that little kid feels right now.
It was crazy.
If I had known beforehand what would happen in Infinity War and I saw that kid, I would have
Yeah.
been there and be like, oh child. Oh child. I feel bad
Kevin
for you.
Feige was like he knew.
Yeah.
But all of that to say, like when Endgame came out, like when Endgame was officially out, it was
Mhm.
so hard to not see spoilers for that. I didn't get on like social media until
Well,
I finally saw it.
you remember the letter that they gave, for like, was it for Infinity War or
Yeah, no,
Endgame
it was
that
Endgame. It was about like don't spoil. They did like don't spoil the Endgame or something like that, and
yeah.
it was a big deal. So and it's good they did that. But I mean, like I said, I'm fine with knowing surface level things, but I'm afraid that the entire movie is about to leak out to the public, like the gas did in Return of the Living Dead, where it's unavoidable and it's going to breathe in your face, and you don't even if you don't want it. So
What? What was that reference?
you've never seen Return of the Living Dead, so.
Oh, okay.
So.
When I said gas, when I heard you say gas, I was like, oh boy, is this a BP reference? I was like, this is a little rough.
No, it's not a BP
Okay.
reference.
Okay.
Speaking of Marvel, let's talk.